With the coming of the Europeans to the Americas, Native Americans have been taken for everything they called their own. From their lands to their languages, almost all has been lost. One tradition that continues to be passed down from elder to youngster is the traditional Indian art and craft making. Throughout the United States, Indian arts and crafts are sold, allegedly for the profit of the Native Americans themselves. But what if that eagle necklace you bought at the Charleston market was actually made in China? You may still find it pretty and wear it, but how does this make the Native American feel? In 2005, it was estimated by the United States Interior Department's Inspector General that half of the $1 billion made off the sales of alleged Native American arts and crafts was profiting for non-Native Americans. Some 70 years earlier, in 1935, the Indian Arts and Crafts Act was enacted to protect the Native American from something like this happening, because it was believed that the sale of these arts and crafts was a good source of income for the Native Americans. Now, 3/4 of a century later, they're only receiving a sliver of what they deserve. It seems that the Indian Arts and Crafts Act and other state-created equivalents are extremely ineffective at stopping this problem. Helen Padilla, a licensed practitioner of Indian law, proposes that international trade laws be used to target these fakes and prevent them from entering the country. Other Native American artists who have chosen to publicly comment on Padilla's proposals believe that Native Americans themselves are even responsible for a fair amount of the fake goods. The Cherokee Nation in particular is concerned with these problems stemming from fake imported Indian arts and crafts. During holiday seasons, Cherokee Nation encourages anyone who wants to sell arts and crafts to set up a booth. However, Principal Chief Chad Smith, as of January 2008, enacted the Truth in Advertising for Native American Art Act. A copy of this act is sent to each vendor who sells art proclaimed Native American or Cherokee, and the Cherokee government is also currently working on a system in which an individual can apply for a license which proclaims them as an official Cherokee artist or vendor of Cherokee arts and crafts. Kara Cohen Watts, a member of the Fraudulent Indian Tribes Team, or FIT, works to find those who buy memberships into Indian tribes in an effort to mislabel their artwork as Native American made. The United States Indian Arts and Crafts Act only requires an individual to be part of a tribe to be a legitimate Indian artist, and if a person can just pay for their membership, this fraud will only continue. Cohen Watts believes that the Truth in Advertising for Native American Art Act is a step in the right direction to making the Cherokee Nation stronger than the United States Indian Arts and Crafts Act. Like Padilla, Cohen Watts believes that the creation of organizations among Indian nations and Indian artists will prove to be much more effective at stopping these problems than relying on the American federal government alone. But do you care? Does the American consumer care? Do you think about where your clothes and jewelry came from, or do you just like the way that they look? I leave you with these questions to answer as you decide whether fraudulence is really a serious issue for you and why that is.